I hope the fans are going to like the work that we've done.
Yeah, I think they will. We have something very special.
You two clearly get along and respect and love
I
each
have
other.
no idea what you're talking about.
Hater! Hater!
When you leave the scene, I like turned to the camera and I was like, gal's mad.
Also, there's something so iconic about being part of the first, fairy tale ever told by Disney. It's the first,
I look at you and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
Take him away. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you? Oh no, I really do remember you being this.
Disney's Snow White 2025 isn't just struggling with fan backlash anymore. It's unraveling from within just 2 months before its release. Gal Gadot has reportedly cut Rachel Zegler from a major promotional campaign, and tensions are at an all-time high. The evil queen herself is done playing nice. After having her scenes cut without notice and clashing with Disney over the film's direction, Gadot is pushing back. Meanwhile, Zegler's frustrations have only grown. What's really happening behind the scenes? And is this movie doomed before it even premieres? Let's break it down.
How do actors with dwarfism feel about the choice to not have 7 little people playing the dwarves in the live-action Snow White? Instead of me telling you, here's an interview so you can hear from one directly.
It's not a progression at all to me. There are actors, dwarf actors, that that dream to be in a major motion picture such as this Disney remake. And now, because Peter Dinklage said what he said last year, now it's taken away. It's not right. Because these are roles made for actors of my stature. I can't go out for the Harrison Ford or the George Clooney roles because that's not for me. These dwarf roles are for people of my stature. Think about the additional stunt actors or body doubles or that. Now you're talking multiple actors of my stature that don't get these major roles. And why? What's the reasoning? Roles in Hollywood in general are very hard for people of my community to get, besides the elf and the leprechaun and this and that. So why are they being taken from my community?
Of course, much how Peter Dinklage can't speak for the entire Little People community, neither can this actor. But there are other actors as well who have spoken out against these choices, saying that it is losing people like them jobs.
The Snow White 2025 teaser premiered at D23, but instead of generating excitement, it triggered massive backlash, sending Disney into crisis mode. What's happening behind the scenes is even messier. Gal Gadot, furious over creative clashes and last-minute decisions, has reportedly removed Rachel Zegler from key promotional appearances just 2 months before release. Their conflict has been escalating for months, with insiders claiming they clashed over everything from the film's direction to public relations. Zegler's public image issues have only worsened matters. Disney's D23 showcase was meant to reignite enthusiasm for upcoming releases like The Incredibles 3 and Lilo and Stitch. However, when it came to Snow White, arguably the studio's most controversial remake, excitement quickly turned into disappointment. The teaser showcased familiar elements like the Seven Dwarfs cottage and CGI animals, but fans were instantly put off by the heavy CGI, uninspired costumes, and lackluster cinematography. Even worse, the dwarfs were entirely animated, a decision that had already sparked backlash months prior. Reactions were swift and brutal. Why does this look like a Disney Plus original instead of a theatrical release? This looks worse than live-action Pinocchio. Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White was also criticized, with fans saying she looked more like a background extra than the main character. Even Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage called Disney out for being hypocritical, claiming to be progressive while reinforcing outdated stereotypes. Beyond CGI and costume complaints, a much bigger issue was brewing: the divide between Gadot and Zegler. Insiders say Gadot was already frustrated with Disney's handling of the film, but tensions with Zegler exploded after the teaser's poor reception. Reports suggest that Zegler's controversial statements and on-set behavior became a huge problem for Disney. She had already been dropped from a $110 million Blumhouse horror trilogy due to her polarizing reputation, and her attitude on the Snow White set raised more concerns. Zegler reportedly demanded major script rewrites, insisting that Snow White shouldn't have a romantic arc and should focus purely on feminist empowerment. While this approach might appeal to modern Hollywood execs, it backfired with audiences, who felt she was dismissing what made the original film special. "She's not going to be saved by the prince this time. We're not doing that anymore," she declared. Disney attempted damage control after the D23 disaster, but rather than distancing itself from Zegler's remarks, the studio tried shifting focus onto Gadot to salvage the film's reputation. Gadot, however, refused. She hadn't made the controversial statements and didn't want to clean up Zegler's mess. Insiders say Gadot refused to appear alongside Zegler at events and pressured Disney to remove her from key marketing efforts. Disney, desperate to contain the situation, agreed, quietly cutting Zegler from major promotions.
No longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Playing Wonder Woman and used to playing the protagonist who tries to save the world or to do the right thing, and all of that is not the evil queen. The evil queen is the first villain ever made, and it really gave me the opportunity to be able to get into a new space and a new headspace, to play something that is just far from what I'm used to playing, and it was amazing, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I enjoyed every single moment of it.
Gal Gadot, best known as Wonder Woman, is now caught in a Hollywood feud, one that has nothing to do with superheroes and everything to do with power struggles, betrayal, and a movie in crisis. She signed on to play the evil queen in Disney's Snow White remake, expecting a dark, elegant villain role. Instead, she found herself at odds with Disney execs and co-star Rachel Zegler. Now, just 2 months before release, Gadot has reportedly had Zegler removed from major promotional events, highlighting how deep the rift has become. Gadot's frustrations with Snow White have been growing for months, but insiders say her breaking point was Zegler herself. While Disney scrambled to fix Zegler's public image after her string of controversial statements, Gadot had enough. Reports suggest Gadot was livid when Zegler repeatedly criticized the original Snow White movie, the very foundation of their film. Zegler dismissed the 1937 classic as outdated, calling it a backward fairy tale, and mocking the idea of a prince rescuing Snow White. In one interview she even boasted, "She's not going to be saved by the prince this time. We're not doing that anymore."
Crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw the well, we didn't even see.
Overwhelming.
We didn't even see,
It's
but I saw the
overwhelming.
logo and I went, "That's my name. Snow White's up there," and I cried my eyes out.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker, and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do. And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it. And it was the most incredible experience. And the fan reaction was insane. We didn't even see what they were clapping for. I think it was good. I don't
The
know.
sizzle. We
Yeah.
didn't see anything. We're still waiting.
You see yourself as the evil queen. You are not evil. You are not evil. You're a queen, but you're not evil. What was it like seeing yourself as the evil queen for the first time?
We did not see the clip, so I still haven't seen anything. But when I was in makeup, just like she said, we got to work with such an amazing crew, and it was just like the best it could ever be. I must say that for me, also the transition for the old hag was incredible because it was all real prosthetics and all of that.
You were in
and
the chair for like 4 hours.
4 hours and changing the voice and everything. I feel so lucky that I got to play something that is so far from what I know and what I'm used to, and I super enjoyed every second of it.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
For Disney fans, this felt like an attack on a beloved classic. For Gadot, it was personal. Insiders claim Gadot felt Zegler's comments were not only disrespectful to the film's legacy, but also damaging to the entire project. The backlash against Zegler became so severe that Disney was forced into damage control. However, rather than holding Zegler accountable, the studio reportedly expected Gadot to take on a bigger marketing role to repair the film's image. That was the final straw. Gadot refused to clean up Disney's PR disaster and reportedly pushed for Zegler to be removed from key promotional appearances. While Zegler was a tipping point, Gadot's grievances with the film ran deeper. She had trained for musical performances, only to discover her singing scenes were cut entirely. Worse, some of her worst takes, moments she and her team requested be removed, were left in the final cut. Test audiences reportedly mocked these scenes, making Gadot feel like she had been set up to fail. Even more frustrating, after poor test screenings, Disney scaled back her presence in marketing instead of addressing the film's real problems.
It's just been the honor of a lifetime. I think any young person, any little girl, you get to put on a Disney princess dress and be her for a day, let alone 6 months of shooting in London on these incredible sets in a Sandy Powell design dress. Yes. It's just been the most amazing experience, and I can't wait to share it with you all.
Oh, it's amazing. And as our evil queen, it's been said that villains have the most fun. Is that true? How fun was it to be bad?
It was a lot of fun to get to do something that is completely different than anything I've ever done before. She's delicious, she's evil, she's magical. We got to sing all these different songs. It was incredible. And I can't wait for all of you to see it. Thank you. אני אוהבת אתכם בחזרה, תודה. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for coming here and for staying and for paying respect to all these beautiful things that Disney are generous enough every year. It's amazing.
Now you say that it was delicious and fun and all of that. That sounds like something a true villain would say. So if I were to sashay up to the nearest wishing well to wish for a little sneak peek on behalf of the best fans in the world, what would you say?
I'd say your wish is about to come true. Well, we, along with our amazing director, Mark Webb, our entire cast and crew, we've worked so incredibly hard to bring this iconic story to life, and we're so excited to give you a sneak peek at the film. And as you know, there will be so many new songs that are amazing by Oscar Award winners Pasek and Paul. But here for D23, we're going to show you a classic. Let's take a look.
All right. Just need a moment. I just had to run.
How amazing was that?
Thank you. I made them run. I took them out the wrong way, and we had to run, and they still have stuff to say. Go on and tell me now.
Well,
how amazing was that?
D23 surprises. You're all going to be the very first audience to see our brand new teaser trailer for Snow White before it goes out into the world. So please enjoy and have a great D23.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
With Disney already losing money on box office flops like The Little Mermaid and Indiana Jones, reshoots and re-edits were deemed too expensive. The studio wasn't willing to invest more into a film that was already falling apart. Feeling trapped, Gadot took action. She distanced herself from the project and removed Zegler from promotional campaigns. Snow White 2025 is quickly becoming a symbol of everything wrong with Disney's current approach to filmmaking. With backlash from audiences, internal conflicts, and a studio in panic mode, Disney is now facing a major PR nightmare. Rumors are swirling that the studio may even scrap the movie altogether. According to industry insiders, Disney executives are debating whether fixing the film would be more costly than simply walking away. One source claimed, "At this point, Disney is weighing the cost of fixing the movie against the cost of just walking away."
First of all, have fun with it. I loved playing this character. It's one of the characters that I enjoyed playing the most. She is evil. She is deeply, she has this dark side, and the dynamic relationship and what Snow White gets out of her is very... Just wait. Just wait.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rachel, congratulations on the D23 Expo reception for Snow White. I want to hear what it's like when you first put on the costume and you are Snow White. Like, how much does that just put you in character? What is that experience like?
Well, I have to work really hard to get out of the little girl in me because I was freaking out and squealing and crying. And Sandy Powell was looking at me like, what's going on? But it's incredible. I mean, getting to be an iconic princess, and not just an iconic princess, but the first ever animated Disney princess, is just the biggest honor and the biggest responsibility and so much pressure. Oh my God, but it's amazing.
It's awesome. So this is a character we've seen different versions of. We've seen the animated version, first ever princess, like you said. How did you put your stamp on it? Like, introduce me to your version of Snow White.
She is made for the modern age, which I really love. She's no longer looking for love, and she might find it, but who knows, right? I guess you'll have to see in 2024. And also, I get to sing incredible new music by Pasek and Paul, and there are some incredible collaborations on that music too, which I'm excited, but I don't think I can say. But it has to do with one of my favorite up-and-coming singer-songwriters, and it's just the most amazing.
Now, Snow White 2025 isn't just fighting for its reputation, it's fighting for survival. The battle inside Disney isn't just Gadot versus Zegler anymore. It's Gadot versus Disney itself. With backlash over CGI dwarfs and poor creative choices, executives are scrambling to control the damage. Multiple emergency meetings have been held to discuss whether the film should even be released. An insider put it bluntly, "This is turning into a PR nightmare." At this point, the damage might be irreparable. Making matters worse, Gadot is now refusing to participate in the full promotional tour unless Disney makes drastic changes. She no longer trusts the studio and has made it clear she won't take the fall for their mistakes. Now, Disney is stuck in an impossible situation. If they release the movie as is, they risk another flop. If they attempt reshoots, they'll lose millions. And if they cancel the film entirely, they'll face public humiliation.